Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another League of Legends guide video. And in today's guide, we're going to be looking over Master Yi, the most cancerous champion you guys will probably ever face, and you probably already have faced in your lives. But if you guys do want to learn how to play him, it's not even that hard. Just be patient, relax, and I will teach you guys how to be the most cancerous person in League of Legends. Well, the most cancerous person that plays Master Yi, because not everyone plays this guy. Like, at least everyone has played this guy. But if you want some, you know, a bit of hints, a bit of this and that, or if you're a beginner, then why don't you just stay and listen to everything that I'm gonna have to say, because Master Yi is actually a champion that's not even really that hard to play, and I think you guys can really get the hang of him and everything, and not everything is really hard about him. Like, everything is so easy to learn about him, nothing is really hard. Picking the right build isn't even that difficult because he's always auto attack based, and we're pretty much just gonna look over his abilities. And also, don't mind the sickness, it's just a little, if it gets annoying, sorry about that. But anyways guys, don't forget to leave a rating after this guide, and yeah, we'll get into the abilities. So the first ability, or the first thing we're going to be looking at, is his passive. His passive is pretty short, which is every few strikes, Master Yi strikes twice. So as you can see on the bottom left, that after he strikes a few times, he will do a double hit on one of them, and that's pretty much his passive. His passive is nothing too big, but it's also pretty cool for when you're fighting, and this is why he's pretty much auto attack based. So that's why you got to take the passive to your advantage as well. So now we're going to move over to Master Yi's Q, which is Alpha Strike, which costs 70 to 110 mana and has a range of 600. Master Yi teleports across the battlefield with blinding speed, dealing physical damage to multiple units in his path, while simultaneously becoming untargetable. Alpha Strike can critically strike and deals bonus physical damage to minions and monsters. Basic attacks reduce Alpha Strike's cooldown. So this is where your passive is really useful for your Q. Every time you do hit something, which is either a minion, monster, anything you hit, even the jungle plants, you will get 1 second knocked off your cooldown for your Q. So you can use this a bunch of times, and that's why a lot of people will tend to build speed on Master Yi already. And that's why most people get intentions to build speed on him, because it's the most efficient thing on him. It's good for his passive, and also it's good for making his Q useful. And his Q already does a lot of damage, and this is the main thing that you're gonna need to do a lot of damage and make sure that you're untargetable. So it's a pretty OP ability, and that's one of the main things that makes Master Yi hard to kill. But he's not really that hard to kill, because I can tell you guys later on how we're gonna do that. But anyways, we're gonna move over to his W, which is Meditate, which costs 50 mana and has a range of 20. Master Yi rejuvenates his body by focus of mind, restoring health and taking reduced damage for a short time. So every time you upgrade this ability, this will go from 30 to 110, and yes, this does channel, and while you're getting hit, like it says, you'll be resistant to some of the damage that's coming in. So let's say, for example, you went in for a tower dive and you went to go kill someone, and then right when you're just making it out, the last thing you probably want to do is meditate just about when the third bullet is about to hit you. It's not always confirmed that the bullet will not kill you, but it will reduce the damage that comes from bullets from the turret. It even reduces the damage that comes from enemies. So if your team is preparing for a fight, let's say for example you already went in, you're gonna meditate, well, on low health or something, and then that gives your teammates time to jump in for you, because you'll be resisting against the damage that comes from the enemies as long as they're not killing you, and then that gives time for your teammates to help you. And that's like the scenarios that I've kind of been in. It's a lot of people's scenarios that everyone's been in, and the damage reduction can go from 50 to 70% every time it's upgraded. So it's a pretty good ability to upgrade, and when you're jungling, it's really useful for going against jungle monsters as well, and it's also helpful keeping your health stabilized and everything, and it's a pretty good ability. So now we're going to talk about Master Yi's E, which is Wuju style, which has no cost and a range of 20. Master Yi becomes skilled in the art of Wuju, passively increasing his attack damage. Activating Wuju style grants him bonus true damage on basic attacks, but the passive bonus is then lost while on cooldown. So the bonus that this is mentioning is the passive that you activate the double strike a little more quicker than you normally do, but then you lose the bonus once you lose Wuju style. So Wuju style is one of your main fighting attributes that you're gonna need. Like, it's good for going in, you get true damage, and you get the bonus passive, which gives you the double strike more often, which is pretty damn good. And once you have that, that's just gonna lower the cooldown of your Q pretty damn quick, and you can just Q right through them. And Wuju style does have a pretty big cooldown, so that's exactly why you gotta use this thing wisely, but you don't always have to rely on Wuju style as well. And the passive grants 10% of attack damage. So now we're gonna finish off with Master Yi's ultimate, which is Highlander, which has a cost of 100 and one range, because It's a self-active kind of ability. Master Yi moves with unparalleled agility, temporarily increasing his movement and attack speeds, as well as making him immune to all slow effects. While active, champions' kills or assists extend Highlander's duration. Passive reduces cooldown for his other abilities on a kill or assist, and the passive for this is champions' kills and assists reduce the remaining cooldown of Master Yi's basic abilities by 70%. So basically, this ability is one of your main abilities. This is the pentakill ability. Of course, it's your ultimate, but this thing is gonna get your pentakill along with all your other abilities. So this thing enhances your movement, enhances your attack speed and your movement speed. It also makes you immune to slows, but hard CCs, they can still get you, but still, being immune to slows and being really fast, that's too powerful. So once you activate this ability, you're gonna get a lot more speed than you already have, depending on how much attack speed you have. Then you can use that to Q on the enemies while using your Wuju style. Wuju style will make the double strike more often, so your Q will come back a lot quicker, so you can spam Q while you're attacking them. As long as you have an attack speed build, that's gonna be pretty damn good and nobody can touch you as long as you're doing it right, because if you get hard CC'd in the middle of your ult, it's gonna be kind of embarrassing when you just ultied and then you got hard CC'd and then you're just getting wrecked like in the middle of the battlefield. It's kind of embarrassing, but if you can pull this off, you get an easy pentakill. It's not even that hard to pull off a pentakill with Yi. It's like I got my first pentakill with this dude. It's not even that hard. So now that we've covered Master Yi's abilities, we're gonna move over to his next things. And the next thing we're gonna move over is to his builds. Now, as you can see on the screen, there are a bunch of builds. Well, 5 builds that I've picked out, and these are commonly the builds that I use. So the top line is the crit and speed, which is in the jungle. So whenever you start off in the jungle, you always want to go skirmisher saber, and then you want to take blood razor, because blood razor has attack speed, and you really need that in the beginning if you really want to queue those jungle camps pretty damn quick. And you know, it's gonna work a lot better with your passive and everything, because it's gonna make your passive come up more quickly, and that's exactly why you take more attack speed. And then you can take Blade of the Ruined King and Mercurial Scimitar for that lifesteal, but Blade of the Ruined King does give you a ton more speed, and also it can help you slow the enemies down so you can catch up to them. So there's really no reason to take a Stalker's Blade, because a lot of people I've seen with Master Yi have taken a Stalker's Blade, although it's optional, but I prefer a Skirmisher Saber because it does more damage. And then you have Blade of the Ruined King to slow down the enemies. Then you have your Mercurial Scimitar to get rid of hard CCs that you have problems with while activating your ultimate or any situations, because Master Yi is likely to get hard CC'd because that's one of his biggest weaknesses. And then Static Shiv, Dancer, and Infinity Edge, they are really good items because they provide crit and speed. Well, not Infinity Edge, but Infinity Edge provides a lot of attack damage and a lot of crit. And then if you get that from your Static Shiv and your Dancer as well, along with you getting speed, it's gonna help a lot and you'll pretty much be unstoppable. So now on the second line, you can see a build which is 100% crit and 40% CDR. Now this build is a pretty picky build. This also has full CDR along with full crit, and you're getting all of your speed from your Static Shiv and your Dancer. Although you may not have much speed as the first build, you will be able to spam your Q a lot more because you have 40% CDR. You can spam your abilities more, and the 100% crit will pretty much dish them out. And this can do pretty well in team fights because you'll be highly untargetable as long as you're not getting hard CC'd. And this one can be really competitive with the first build as well. So this one's a pretty good one, and it's also a good one to try it out at least. So these are the items that you could build on lane, and you gotta be tanky because Master Yi can die pretty damn quickly, and he's really squishy. So you're still gonna need that speed from Blade of the Ruined King. Make sure you slow your enemies, and you gotta lifesteal them. Then you got your Phantom Dancer, which is also providing you speed. Then your Ninja Tabby, which just reduces 12% of basic attack damage. Sterex, Deadman's, and Spirit Visage are pretty much good finishers to being tanky. And this is a build that will be played on the top lane, but it also means that you'll be weak early. So make sure you get kills by roaming or something, and you gotta be very careful, and make sure you just don't get reported for going top Yi as well. So the next build is the Lifesteal Heavy Yi, which gives you Dancer, Blade of the Ruined King, Bloodthirster, Ravenous Hydra. Those 3 items, Bloodthirster, Blade of the Ruined King, and Ravenous Hydra, are really, really good. They'll make you unstoppable, and it will let you solo Baron as long as you have Infinity Edge, and you got those 2 crit items over there, those 2 beautiful crit items that over there, and you can pretty much solo Baron with this build, and you can solo Elder, solo anything pretty much. And then in the bottom, this is not pretty much a build. These are just items that you can pick out and put in your build. So Guardian Angel can also be an item that, you know, if you, in case you mess up or anything, or in case you know you're gonna die because this enemy team is strong, this thing can bring you back to life. You can spam your Q, spam your abilities, spam anything you want, and you're pretty much likely to kill the enemies while you're rising from your guardian angel. Youmuu's Ghost Blade does give you cooldown reduction, also gives you movement speed and lethality, so if you guys want that, you can add that to your build. But my most favorite is Ginsu's Rage Blade. Ginsu's Rage Blade is amazing for Yi, and it also makes up for making 2.5 attack speed. When I'm going attack speed build, I always go for that 2.5, and this always helps me get a 2.5. As long as I build the Berserker's Greaves, I'm always a fan of Berserker's Greaves, so I'm pretty much like that. Along with the other builds at the top, there's not any boots, but this is because we're likely to use our ultimate, or on the later Yi, you're likely to take Ghost and Flash. Ghost is helpful to catch up to your enemies, or you can just use your ultimate and rely on it. But later Yi does have boots, so in case of any other emergencies, you're most likely gonna rely on your ulti, as long as you have Ghost as well if you're gonna be laning. But if you're jungling, just go Smite and Flash, go a little casual, and whenever you want, buy your elixirs. Always go for your elixir. So you either want an Elixir of Wrath if you want to do more damage, or if you want to resist, go for Elixir of Ire. So now that we've talked about the builds, we're gonna be talking about the runes that I go for. So the runes that I go for is 3 quintessences of attack speed, 9 glyphs of attack speed, 9 seals of armor, and 9 marks of attack damage. Now the only reason I have so much attack speed in my runes is because I like to start off with a lot of attack speed, and it also helps me in the jungle, because jungling with Yi, when you jungle with Yi and you get invaded a little later, like into like the 3rd or 4th camp, you are going to be really low, and this is why you gotta start at blue buff, so you can get your W so you can regenerate yourself, and so you can use your abilities more on the camps, because your mana dies out pretty fast and you need blue buff to help you. And make sure you go for 18 on ferocity, and make sure you get fervor for battle, and then the rest you can put into these. Dangerous Game is really helpful for Yi, so make sure you go with that. And then of course we go 5 fury, we get 5 vampirism, etc, etc. We always go for the damage and the speed, we always want that. But that's pretty much my way of being a cancerous Yi. So now that we've talked about pretty much everything, well, the base of Master Yi, I'm gonna be talking a little bit about him before we end off this guide. So Master Yi is a champion that is played most likely in the jungle. He's a pretty easy to play champ, and he's also very squishy, so when you're jungling, you're gonna be low pretty early, and you gotta make sure, you gotta be precautious of your surroundings. You gotta be aware that nobody is there, because while you're clearing camps, you're pretty damn weak, because your health is always low. You gotta rely on your W for regenerating yourself. Although it's a nice ability to regenerate yourself with, you have to rely on it a lot when you're starting off in the jungle. But once you get your crit items, you really don't need to worry that much. It's always the beginning though. Until you get to level 6, it's gonna become a worry, or it's gonna become a worry until you get your first item, because you're gonna need an item and its passive to help you with the camps. But definitely start off with a Skirmisher Saber on Blood Razor. Then the boots, you know, Berserker's Greaves, etc. It depends on what kind of build you want to go for, so we can look back over at the lifesteals or the CDR or the crit, anything you guys want. And there's also situational items that you guys can put in as well. And for Yees that lane, make sure you place it, well, you gotta play a little, and laner Yees, you gotta make sure you know how your enemy is, if they're powerful early or if they're weaker than you, because you're Master Yi, you're very squishy and you gotta be very careful. But if you're going against someone that you can poke a lot with your Q, because Q can be used on minions, and if the enemy is around the minions, they also get hit in the Alpha Strike, and you return back to where the minion was, the one that you pressed Q on. But if you press Q on the enemy, of course it's gonna land on them, and you're gonna latch onto them. This is when it comes into getting your pentakills. When you're pressing ultimate, you press Q on the enemy, you're latching onto them, and you're not letting them go. Even if they flash and you press your Q first, you're gonna teleport with them while they activated flash, which is pretty damn broken, and it also works a little like Warwick. Then you're gonna get that insane speed that just dishes out everyone's health, and you just get that the easiest pentakill you've ever gotten, and then you feel proud, and then like you're so happy for no reason. But then you realize it's Yi, and it doesn't really matter if you get a pentakill on Yi, because it's probably like the easiest thing that anyone can ever do on League of Legends. But also he's been known to be the most cancerous champ, not only because he's easy to play, but it's because of the amount of damage that he does. Even though if a Master Yi is falling behind, that ultimate can be a game changer. Like I remember one time I was playing Master Yi and some dude AFK'd because of tilt. After a while, because I was playing Master Yi, I made a 4v5 comeback, because Master Yi is the most broken champ. And if you have that attack speed from Highlander, and if you have your E activated, you're gonna be dishing down those turrets pretty damn fast. Turrets, inhibitors, whatever, they don't stand a chance to you. Even Baron doesn't stand a chance to you when you have some lifesteal in your build. Other than that, I pretty much think that he still needs a nerf, but he's a pretty good champion. But in my opinion, I think Riot can slightly buffer him up a little bit, or you know, they can balance him out a little bit. Not because he does too much damage, because they've newly released champions that do way more damage than Yi does. But it's just, a lot of the champions in League of Legends have to be toned up a little bit, because sometimes they're a bit too ridiculous, but I kind of get that. Like, not every champion has to be balanced. Not every champion has to be the same. Some will be stronger, some will be weaker. It's just general common sense that not everyone is gonna have the same power. Everyone is different, but I still think that Yi can get just a little bit of changes, a bit of just a balance, you know, a bit of upgrade on something and a bit of debuff on something, and that's pretty much gonna be good for that. But that's just my opinion. Like, you guys probably want him buffed, but if you guys played the early Master Yi, this guy was the most broken champ in the game. His W would channel for like 10 seconds or something, your Q would be up more frequently, your ultimate lasted longer, but now they've reduced the time of your ultimate when you activate it and haven't killed someone. But when you kill or assist while you have that ultimate on, that shit will last so much longer. If you have a pentakill with that will last so long. You can take down like 3 turrets, an inhibitor, maybe 5 turrets, maybe a Baron and an Elder. You can take down so much. It's unbelievable, but it's also so fun when you're killing everyone and you're not even trying. That's like the best part about it. But anyways, guys, that was the guide. That was Master Yi, the most cancerous champ you guys will probably ever see. Oh, did you guys like that rhyme? Boom. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to see more videos like this, then go ahead and put it down in the comment section below. I've already got some suggestions in the comment section, so I'm going to start pulling out some suggestions for everyone, and I'm going to do some guides on those people. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace, guys, and see ya.